I've had the Carpuride W903 on my dashboard for quite a while, but it's time to see if the new W125S can dethrone it. The 125S is the latest dashboard console from Carpuride, designed to bring wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto to almost any vehicle in just a few minutes. But it's more than just a smart screen. The 125S is equipped with not one, not two, but three cameras: a 4K front camera, a 1080 rear camera, and a new 1080 infrared cabin camera, giving you complete coverage of the road and the inside of your vehicle in day or night. It's got a 10.25 inch HD IPS display, wireless connectivity for both Apple and Android users, voice control, and an audio system with wired or wireless playback. It's essentially a modern infotainment system that sits neatly on your dashboard without the need to rip out your existing head unit. Now, I've used and reviewed quite a few dashboard consoles from Carpuride over the years, including the W903 and the 904, and this new model promises to take things to the next level. So the big question is, can it really deliver that flagship experience? Carpuride kindly provided the device for me to make this video, but as always, all the thoughts and opinions are my own. If you like what you see, I've got affiliate links in the description below, and you can use the discount code LensOfJames at checkout to get a discount on your order from carpuride.com. Let's get stuck into the video. Opening up the box, the first thing that catches your eye is that large 10.25 inch screen. The design feels clean and modern, with slim bezels and a glossy screen that will look right at home in just about any car interior. Turning it over, you've got the main difference that sets this screen apart from others: the dual cameras. Peeling the protective film off, the central camera is the 4K dash cam. This is fixed in place, but the lens does tilt and turn to get the best angle of the road. Beside it though is the new internal camera. This tucks away on the back as it doesn't have to be used, and can be turned off in settings if you want privacy in the vehicle. But pull it up and twist it up to 350 degrees and you've got a 1080 colour camera for your cabin, with infrared sensors too for night filming. Below the cameras is the mounting plate and speaker, and then on the side of the device you have the ports. The first is a 3.5mm port for wired audio. Then there's the microSD card slot to record the dashcam, which comes with a 64GB card already installed. The microSD card slot is specifically for storing camera footage, and you can't play music or video files directly from it, but it supports cards up to 256GB with loop recording, which is plenty for filming with 3 cameras. Then there's the 2.5mm AV-in port for the reversing camera, and finally a USB-C port for power. Also in the box you'll find the 12V to USB-C power adapter. This is a slightly different design than previous models and features a power button, so you can turn the screen on or off without unplugging it, as well as an interesting small R button, which is really useful, but I'll explain it all later in the video. Then there's the 2 mounting options: the familiar sticky pad mount for a more permanent setup, and a suction cup mount with an adjustable arm if you prefer something you can remove and reposition. Both the solid and the suction cup is compatible across Carpuride's range, though the sticky pad mount has a slightly taller neck than the previous one to account for it being a slightly larger screen, which means this device isn't going to fit on previous Carpuride sticky pad mounts. You've also got an aux cable for wired audio, a detailed manual, a sticky back mounting plate, and a reversing camera kit with screws and a sticky pad. I'll explain that and what the red wire does later. So let's get installing the 125S, and it really is a quick and easy job to install one of these devices in a vehicle. I've already got the sticky pad mount for the W903 on my dashboard, which, as mentioned, is slightly too small for the larger 125S screen. So I'll be removing that with a bit of effort, as it's stuck so well and hasn't budged in over a year, and I'll replace it with the new mount. If you want to use the suction cup mount, you have the option of attaching it to the windscreen or the dashboard, though it's best to have the screen itself resting on the dashboard to limit wobbling. With the mount stuck down, simply push the device in place on the mounting pins and plug the USB-C cable into the port, with the other end going into the vehicle's 12V socket. It's really as simple as that. Once the vehicle turns on, so will the 125S. The only other thing you could do is hide the wires. As you can see here, I've got a power and reversing camera cable from the W903 which I've hidden in the dashboard trim to neaten things up. How to remove the trim is different for every vehicle, but most of it just pops off, or you can get a trim removal toolset to help. Once powered on, the screen starts up quickly and the Carpuride logo appears before the system boots into the home screen. The main noticeable difference, other than slightly different icons, is that the 125S features your camera on the home screen, which I really like. You can toggle through the different cameras you have connected for different views, or you can tap the image to go full screen. The device starts recording these cameras as soon as it boots up. The display itself is sharp and vibrant, and visibility is excellent even in bright daylight. As mentioned earlier, the screen measures 10¼ inches across, though the overall body is slightly larger, just over 11 inches corner to corner, giving it a nice balanced look on the dashboard. And if you're seeing any wavy lines or artifacts on the screen, it's just my camera and not the 125S screen, which is bright and sharp and isn't done justice on film. Let's get started with the apps, and on the left you have the home button at the top and below that the brightness button. Pressing it brings up the adjustable bar and there isn't much lag on it at all. Press the sun symbol and auto brightness will come on. The next button is the sound button, and this is a changeable button based on how you're listening to music on the device. The fourth and final button on the left hand menu is the dash cam, and here you can review the cameras that are recording, and you can swipe between them to get different views or view them all together. Along the bottom are a number of buttons to play with. The first is to stop or start recording, but remember that it automatically starts recording when the device is turned on. The next option is to lock the current clip so it can't be overwritten or unlock it again. The third symbol is to take a photo of the current scene, whilst the fourth is to return to the home screen. The next is a shortcut to the connection screen, though if you're connected via Android Auto or CarPlay already, it would take you straight there. And the last icon turns the device microphone off so you aren't recording sound on the dashcam while you're driving. Back on the home screen, the time has been made much smaller to accommodate 8 apps and the camera display. The first 5 apps are ones we've already seen on the connection screen, and these enable connections to CarPlay and Android Auto with instructions and an easy setup. Then there's AirPlay for iPhone users to cast their screen to the 125S, and Superlink for Android users, which requires downloading the third-party EveLink app and does much the same as AirPlay. The final connection is Wi-Fi video, and by downloading the Video app on your phone, you can add your dashboard camera and live view your vehicle, view recorded clips and more, which is a great functionality to have, though it uses a local connection generated by the 125S screen, so you'd need to be next to the screen to access your clips. The 6th app is audio output, and here you have the 4 methods of listening to music. First is through the 125S's built-in 2-watt speaker, which is more of a backup method as it is quite underpowered. Next is Bluetooth. This is how I listen to music with dashboard consoles, and your hands-free steering wheel controls will work with the 125S too, as it's pulling everything off your phone. Simply connect your phone to the 125S via Android Auto or CarPlay, and also connect your phone to your car's Bluetooth and your controls will work. The third audio option is FM transmission, which plays back wirelessly through your car speakers via a chosen radio frequency. And finally there's wired audio playback thanks to the included aux cable. The 7th app is Playback, and here you can view your dashcam clips. They're nicely organised in an easy to use player and can be made full screen for clearer viewing. I'll come to the Settings app in just a moment, but on first use, touch response on the W125S is snappy and the HD display makes maps and apps look crisp. Having used the 903 screen for so long, I can definitely see a beneficial improvement in the screen quality and functionality of the 125S. The last app is Settings, and there are a number of things to explore here. The first tab is General, and you can change the screensaver duration, let the device know which side of the road you drive on, and choose how you want your split screen mode to look in CarPlay and Android Auto, which includes the addition of the camera view to your screen. You can also set your auto brightness parameters and toggle auto brightness on and off. Next is Assistive Touch, and if turned on, when you use the CarPlay or Android Auto interfaces, a small movable button will appear which enables you to quickly access the home, Bluetooth, camera and brightness settings. The final button on this page is Clear Connections, and this will reset all of your previous connections to devices. The second tab is all the camera settings, and first we have Record Resolution, and here, without the rear camera plugged in, you have a maximum resolution of 4K plus 2.5K, though the screen did come with 2.5K and 1080 as default. When I plugged the rear cam in, the highest setting changed to 4K plus 1080 plus 1080, which is what I was expecting it to be. Next you can choose your segment duration or how long you want your dashcam clips to be before it cuts and starts another clip. As with the majority of dashcams, once your memory card is full, the 125S will start overwriting the earliest footage unless it's protected, so you don't have to constantly clear your memory card. Collision sensitivity is also adjustable, which will protect clips if it detects an impact while moving via the G sensor. Next you have another way of turning the microphone on and off, and the ability to flip or mirror the camera's image to suit your preference and how the console and rear camera are mounted. If you have the screen hardwired so it gets a constant power source, then you get another menu item called Parking Monitor. It provides settings for G-sensor sensitivity when the vehicle is parking, as there's a 24-hour parking mode to detect and film incidents when you're away from the vehicle. This video will get too long if I do a full rundown on how to hardwire a device to a car, but luckily I've already made a full in-depth step-by-step guide on how to hardwire a device just like this one. It's not as difficult as you think and is worth it for that extra protection to your vehicle around the clock. I'll put a link in the description below, or there should be one in the top right hand corner of this video too. To complete the camera settings tab you have reverse line calibration, and here you can adjust the reversing lines to suit how you've installed the camera. For example, if it wasn't installed centrally or you couldn't see certain parts of the road, you could adjust the lines to make yourself aware of this when reversing. The Car Charger One Touch Reverse drop-down is a new feature which relates to the R button found on the 12V adapter. If you needed your rear camera but didn't want to put the vehicle in reverse, then tapping the R button will instantly bring up your rear cam image to the screen, and you can time how long it stays on the screen using the drop-down here. That's another feature that I really like and can see being very handy. The final settings tab is System, and here you can choose your language, choose to turn on or off tapping sounds, change the date and time, check out your storage info based on the memory card you have in, format the memory card to wipe it, perform a factory reset on the device, and check the firmware version. All in all, there's a lot to play with and adjust to get the screen working just how you want it to. Unlike Carpuride's 903 and 904 dashboard consoles, which both had just one 4K dashcam, the W125S includes a 4K front camera and a 1080 infrared cabin camera, in addition to the rear camera. You can switch between camera views easily on screen or view multiple feeds at once depending on your layout preference. The front and rear cameras give you a full view of the road, while the infrared camera monitors the cabin. It automatically switches to black and white imaging at night, capturing clear if not slightly spooky footage even in pitch darkness. This is ideal for families, rideshare drivers, or anyone who wants to keep an eye on passengers or pets in the back seat, while still giving you the addition of navigation help from CarPlay Android Auto, all in the same device. In terms of image quality, the 125S performs very well considering it's a dashboard console first and a dashcam second. The 4K front footage is sharp with excellent detail and minimal distortion, and number plates are readable even at speed in the daytime. At night it struggles a little, though important details are definitely visible, and the infrared interior camera works a treat for keeping an eye on the inside of the vehicle. Do bear in mind though that the infrared camera is designed for facing inside the car only. If you point it outside, the light reflections will cause the image to flicker. The Full HD rear camera understandably lacks a bit of quality compared to the 4K front camera, but it is a really useful tool to have at your disposal, and I wouldn't be without it. At 1080 quality, distant details can get missed, but everything up close is captured well. Overall, it's a very capable 3-camera system that records high quality footage across all angles without any noticeable lag. I did find, however, that the camera vibrates a little on my dashboard, but I have a van which isn't the smoothest ride anyway, so I've no doubt it would be a bit different if installed in a nicer vehicle. The rear view camera offers the ability to have a reversing camera to help with parking engaged distances on top of it being a rear dash cam. You can leave the red wire alone if you don't want the automatic reversing screen, as you do now have the R button to press and bring up the rear cam. Though if you do want it to be automatic when you put the vehicle in reverse, I'll talk you through the process. But first you'll need to attach the lens to either the rear window using the sticky pad or, as I've done here, feed it through the inside of the rear door to the outside and screw the camera in place near the number plate. The long wire will need to be hidden in the vehicle, and then the camera can be adjusted to get the right filming angle and tightened. To make it an automatic reversing camera, the red wire will need to be attached to the reversing light wire so that when you put the car in reverse, the camera knows this, and the 125S device will automatically bring up the reversing screen. Most of the images you're seeing here are from the full detailed step-by-step video on how to install this type of rear view camera to the reversing light that I made not too long ago, which you should see a link to in the top right corner, but I'll also leave a link in the description below. It's really not as bad as you think and is well worth the effort, but it's fantastic to now have that R button on the power adapter, meaning that you don't have to go through all the extra work if you don't want to. Given the features of wireless CarPlay and Android Auto, a quality 10.25-inch HD touchscreen and 3 cameras including infrared night vision, the W125S does cost a little more than some screens, but having tested the screen extensively, I actually think it's worth it. At the time of filming, it's retailing for around £250 or $320, though prices do vary and Carpuride often runs discounts on their website. There's also a W125A model if you're looking for a flagship screen without the interior infrared camera. It still has the 4K front camera, which is rotatable, and pairs with a 1080 rear cam as well. The 125A is a little cheaper, retailing at £230 or $300. I've got affiliate links to all the major retailers in the description below, so have a browse to find the best price and be sure to use the discount code LensOfJames at checkout to save on your order from carpuride.com. The Carpuride W125S is an impressive evolution of the brand's dashboard consoles. It's fast, sleek and loaded with useful tech. The triple camera setup makes it ideal for anyone who wants a complete recording system without installing separate dash cams, and the infrared camera view is a practical addition too. As with all their previous devices, Carpuride's wireless CarPlay and Android Auto work flawlessly, and it's so good that you can genuinely install this in 5 minutes. If you're upgrading from an older Carpuride model, the W125S feels like a significant step forward, and if it's your first Carpuride console, it's an excellent place to start. If you've enjoyed this video and think I've earned it, please drop a like and subscribe to my channel for more videos just like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.